What's up, fam? Elijah here, and welcome back to another episode of EXTOL We. And this week, John, Amanda, Bishop, my Kingdom Business Bootcamp Clan, and Insta360 are my extras, and I am the ordinary. Now, a couple weeks ago, I made an episode talking about how we are all GoPro Hero 11 cameras, not sponsored. And this week, my Insta360 is helping to serve to illustrate a point in life, also not sponsored, and insights into life and how we provide perspective to one another in a context of community. Now, the video that went live this last week on my Extraordinary Life with Elijah channel was ignorance and arrogance, coupled to a video then that was posted 3.5 years ago in the past called Distraction Equals Detraction. Now, before we jump farther into the video, I want to ask you a riddle. What has 4 letters, never has 5, but sometimes has 9? Think about that for a while. I'll tell you the answer here in just a little bit. But I think it's interesting how when community surrounds our lives, that they can help to have a dual function in 2 contexts. One, that they can help to reveal to us things that we're holding in our right hand as a lie, as well as to help to reveal to us also strengths and capacities that we're holding that we can't see. The video that I did for last week on EXTOL We was in relation to the gaboons insight with my little girl. And one of the insights about the nature of gaboons that I didn't press into and talk about was the unique element of their visual capacity. If you take a gaboon and you spin them in a 360-degree pattern, one eye will look to the front while the other eye looks to the back. And if you rotate a gaboon around its central axis, front to back, one eye will look up and one eye will look down. Now, that is an incredible capacity to have, and it helps them in their ability to strike their prey, in that they can look forward and backward at the same time without moving their head and know exactly where to strike, regardless of whether something is coming up on them on the front or the back. Within that capacity of thinking about gaboons this last week, that it's been so challenging for me to consider how often that as believers that we more often assimilate the life of a gaboon rather than assimilating and approximating, embodying the image of Christ. Satan at the very beginning was pictured as being a serpent. And it's interesting to see how a serpent, a viper, instead of inviting people into a context of presenting beautiful truth that they can then choose to draw into themselves, that a viper is someone that bites and injects what they want into another person, that creates death, rather than something that then can be offered to someone as a drink of living water that you pull into yourself to bring life. Oh, I just smacked my microphone. The beauty of community is that they can help to surround you, to help you to see things that you're holding on to that are lies in your life that need to be confronted. And Isaiah says that man is so ridiculous in that we take a log, we cut it in half, craft one half of it to be a god and say, save me, but then take the other half of it, burn it to bake our bread. This is out of our self-perception that we're not even able to say, is not this thing in my right hand a lie? Now, the beautiful thing about community then is that we're able then to surround one another's life and help to see what it is that we're holding on to. That when I step off of it and I become a community member that is surrounding your life, that I can then move around it to say, hey, do you see that huge pole? I'm acting as a GoPro in your life to say, hey man, I want to give you back input. That's the thing that you're holding in your hand. Now, obviously, I can't film myself and do this simultaneously. So pretend like I'm over there and I'm over here filming you, but you're looking back at me. Make sense? That's why I say it was so incredibly beautiful for me to be in community with my friend John, that I thought I had a hold of a very clear, concise, empowering insight about my life, that I was a closet racist, but John just said, no, I'm gonna tell you what you're holding on to really tightly there in your right hand is a lie. You're just ignorant, arrogant, immature. Don't worry about it. You're not having any big issues. You'll grow out of those if you just embrace maturity moving forward. That was so beautiful then that my community surrounding me was able to point out, no, that thing that you have in your right hand is actually a lie. And see, the thing about it is that our perceptions in ourself, that we're pretty sure that we're seeing accurately, that we've taken insights to our past, to our future, above, below, left, right, liberal, conservative, wherever frame that you're coming from, since we're in a season of politics, that you think, oh, I have this perspective, and I'm going to take all of those perspectives, I'm going to lift up above me, and then we create this tiny little world that we're on, that we think that we can see clearly. We're like, hey, what's up? I see the whole world clearly, but it's actually just a very small-minded picture of the world, and that worked into our lives, that there are these artificial intelligences that we can't see past, that are erasing the very thing that we need to be able to address. Rewind to my riddle. The thing with my riddle that I gave you was that it's not a riddle. I gave you the answer in the question just from the inflection of my voice. I made a statement. What has 4 letters, never has 5, and sometimes has 9. So often in our lives, the very thing that we need to ask questions of or gain insight to, that we're so confused about, like, how do we solve this riddle? Like, what is the answer? It's so deceiving because it's actually not a question, it's giving us an answer. When we step back and we get that perspective, that something that was very confusing and puzzling instantaneously becomes very clear. Say, oh my goodness, I was being deceived. That's in the context of things that are negative, things that we're holding on to that are lies in our life. But then likewise, that there's these beautiful areas of strengths and capacities of things that we hold in our hands that we don't realize that we're holding on to, that community helps us to become aware of. And I think it's so beautiful in the context of the Kingdom Business Bootcamp clan, that has been so beautiful to receive the insights of community in strengths that I haven't seen as being strengths because I can't see them. As we were pressing into defining, like, what is kingdom business? Like, what does that look like? How do we bring transformation within the marketplace? People keep giving insights, and I listen and I say, what I hear you saying is this. I'm going to breathe that back. And one of the group members said, you have such an incredible capacity to listen to what people say and then breathe it back to them in such a beautiful and artistic context that it's been coalesced and codified down into a very precise definition. Thank you. Really? Like, I'm doing that for you? Like, that's incredible. That makes me feel so good about myself. It was beautiful in that the group member was pointing out to me a strength and a capacity that I have, that I hold in my hand, that is as easy as breathing to me. But then later in the group then, a couple weeks later, the same group member, I came and I had coalesced all of the insights from everyone into this one succinct definition of a tiny little world. And I thought it was baller, brought so much clarity and definition, but that when I gave it, the response was, you have very interesting use of vernacular that is confusing, and I'm not even really sure what you're saying in this definition. Now, in that, it was so elucidating to, again, have this context where community was able to say, we really appreciate the strength that's in your hand, but the thing that you're trying to hand to people is not as clear as it could be. That your definition of all things contracted down into this one perspective and insight is so complex, I don't know what I'm looking at. What I need is for you, now this is for me, to be able to give me a clear insight of who I am so I can see myself more clearly, and then flip around the other way to help me see where I'm going. I just need two frames. You're trying to give me 360 in all directions collapsed into one insight. That's not helpful, and it doesn't help me to know how I'm moving forward. And that is so beautiful then to see how my friend Amanda helped to bring the beauty and the celebration of my friend Bishop. On his birthday, she got everybody together. We gathered around at a campfire, and she wanted each person to come and have a unique insight and perspective on his life to help encourage, celebrate him on his birthday. Now, as we were around the campfire, it was so beautiful to see how each person had a unique and individual insight surrounding Bishop's life that was speaking value, appreciation, and worth into his life. And that as we did that, then I had an appreciation for Amanda to say, man, I really appreciate how you're bringing out and creating beauty in Bishop. To which she quipped, no, actually, I'm not creating beauty in Bishop. I'm just helping surround his life and helping to nurture, to speak to the beauty in his life that already exists. Family, I think this is so incredibly instructive in the fact that so often in our lives that as we experience hurts or challenges and difficulties, that there becomes this self-protective element in our lives that we think it's going to be better if we just live life on our own. That we develop these super sharp fangs, that we become very focused on the good things in life that need to be protected, and then justify bad behavior in our lives by saying, here are the things that need injected into your life because there's some really dumb and stupid things that you believe that need to be killed. And so I'm going to inject this truth into your life to help you realize how dumb you are. And that as a result of then self-protection, that we gain all of these insights from our life lived. We try to look to our past. We try to look to our future. We try to look to our left, to our right, above and below in order to engage those insights and perspectives from a context of self-protection, to see those areas of things that might be sneaking up behind us or running out in front of us that we may not see coming on our own. Couldn't plan that if I tried. But that out of that context, that there is no way that you can manage all of that perspective, and that out of that self-protective place, that it's so incredibly easy to overlook the areas of lies that you may be holding on to while simultaneously overlooking the strengths that you have as well. Out of those two things then, the beautiful element is then to surrender into the one point of focus that you need in your life. That the Holy Spirit, He comes to remind us of everything that Jesus has said to us in the past, that He's our remembrance. And so He's safeguarding our memory. He's also the one that is with us in the moment, in personal presence, guiding us into all truth and telling us what is yet to come in the future. But that all of those things then are regulated, overseen by someone who has omnipotent vision in all time, space, continuums, past, present, and future, that He's all powerful, all knowing, all present, but that He has one main desire, and it's to be with me. And as I focus on Him, that I seek His good, I seek Him, focus my life on Him, that all things are added to me as well. Fam, I hope that's encouraging to you. I know it's a bit of a more complex one. I am not sure how in the world this edit is going to be and trying to cut all of these angles and shaping it all together, but I think it puts on display perfectly the power of the Holy Spirit leading us forward past our arrogance and our ignorance in helping us to focus on the one thing that matters most. So if you subscribe to what I'm doing, then hit the button, hit it and then get it. Hit the bell as well so you get notified with the new content. Oh, so content. And if you love this video, didn't just like it, hit the thumbs down button. Pray blessings on all of our lives together. I love you guys lots, and I will see you in the next video.